Wall Street, this is the long-awaited sequel. I guess we didn't even know for a long time that there would be a sequel, since it doesn't, the first Wall Street doesn't end with the sense that, oh my God, we need to know what happens next to Gordon Gekko. But Oliver Stone has given us a sequel 23 years later.
Wall Street 2, Electric Boogaloo. This time Gordon Gekko takes his ill-gotten gains and helps save the community center. No, it's, he's out of prison. He spent 9 years in federal prison for tax evasion and...
Well, insider trading, right?
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right.
Various crimes, financial crimes. And it's set pretty much now. It's set right in the economic collapse of 2008. And the question becomes, how will he respond to this? Will he be among these greater sharks than even he ever dreamed of being, or will he have learned something in his time behind bars? And Shia LaBeouf is this young up-and-coming trader who serves as kind of a protege to him in some ways, and is a great supporting cast, and it's a big, glossy movie. Here you go.
Someone reminded me I once said, greed is good. Now it seems it's legal. Because everybody's drinking the same Kool-Aid. Now, I've been considered a pretty smart guy. And maybe I was in prison too long.
One watch and one mobile phone.
But sometimes it's the only place to stay sane and look out through those bars and say, is everybody out there nuts?
Gordon Gekko was one of the biggest names on Wall Street before he went to prison for insider trading.
That name doesn't mean anything anymore.
If it weren't for people who took risks, where would we be in this world?
You might want to wipe some of the drool off your face.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of will and taste.
Mr. Gekko! My name's Jacob Moore. I'm gonna marry your daughter.
I've been around for
My daughter hasn't spoken to me in years, and you know it.
I never knew my dad as a peaceful person. That always scared me.
pleased to meet you. Hope you get my name.
There you go. That's Wall Street. You saw Carey Mulligan there. Obviously, she is Michael Douglas's daughter, and in a relationship with Shia LaBeouf. They don't make any secret of that. Very quickly, you get from the trailer a attractive woman wearing a man's dress shirt. Hard to dislike any movie where that happens.
And she's so cute.
Oh, she's adorable. What are you talking about?
But yeah, of all the women in all the world, Shia LaBeouf hooks up with Gordon Gekko's daughter.
Well, somebody
Really?
has to.
Somebody had to.
Right. So I read your review, obviously for the AP. You liked a lot of this movie.
Yeah, surprisingly. And I sort of walked into it going, the world does not need a Wall Street sequel. It was of its time, it functioned beautifully, why bother going back now? But this is actually really relevant, and the way he's placed it at the time it takes place, it's surprisingly relevant. It looks fantastic. It's just big and glossy and gleaming.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Prieto, who shot Brokeback Mountain and shot Amores Perros, Oscar-nominated cinematographer, he shot it.
And there's a lot of gay sex in it, too.
I know,
Yeah.
in the mountains. How did they work that in? Gordon
Yeah.
Gekko couldn't do anything.
Making Gordon Gekko gay, I thought was a very bold decision.
Why?
Really, no wonder.
Spoiler
Well, right, he had
alert
been
for
in
that.
prison
I mean,
for 9 years.
but honestly, no wonder the market's crashed
Right.
with all that gay sex. Right?
So I'm going to cut you off because I'm a
Please.
jerk, but I
No,
agree
do.
with you on the glossiness and the
Right.
sheen and that it looked good.
And then it dies at the end.
I think it died before the end,
Did it?
and it's
Okay.
relevant only, I thought, because it's a movie sort of ostensibly about a guy getting out of prison and how he's going to adapt to the current financial crisis, but I don't think it did any sort of exploring of the current financial crisis in any way, and then I thought the characters were so weak that it didn't really make any difference.
No, I thought it was a really sort of operatic almost depiction of what happened, and the characters are all larger than life. Frank Langella is awesome.
Yeah.
He's put on all this weight, and he's growly. He's the old school guy. Susan Sarandon is kind of chewing the scenery up as this very Long Island-y kind of real estate agent. It's fun. For a very depressing topic, the Wall Street sequel is very entertaining. So I thought in that regard, no. Does it in any way provide insight? No, but it's an entertaining exploration of what happened.
I agree that it's an interesting exploration of how everything went bad and the scenes where they're all sitting in with the Fed and what felt like this atmosphere of collusion as to how things crashed. And you really do want to think, wow, there's a lot of people who really need to go to jail. I mean, in fact, I came out of this movie thinking in reference to the original movie. Remember when the worst thing you could be was a corporate raider?
Yeah.
Right? And now that seems like small potatoes.
Yes, corporate raiding, tax evasion, all the things that he went to prison for, insider trading, they all seem, they're like stealing candy from 7-Eleven. Little Gordon Gekko and his petty financial crimes.
Right. But you know, there were a couple of problems I had with this movie. You know, for instance, it's not a huge spoiler to say that we lose Frank Langella relatively early on, and the way that kept getting flashed back and these cuts to the subway, like, just got to be a little bit much for me. And the little montage bits, I thought it was kind of overdone.
It didn't need the split screens, you're right. And all the tickers going through the skyscrapers, he didn't need that.
And I thought, you know, that was that worked in the first one, but to do that again here, I didn't think it was that relevant. And the other issue, the big thing that I thought about this, I thought this movie actually would have been a lot better if they weren't trying to horn in Gordon Gekko. I actually thought this would have been a better movie if it was an original story.
If it were about Shia LaBeouf and how he's navigating these waters.
Right. If it was about Frank Langella, you know, and Shia LaBeouf, sort of the old school guy trying to keep up with the way things are changing, and then maybe the young guy. Well, that's interesting that you say that, because I hadn't really thought about that. I was looking over my notes, and I actually liked the first half more than I remembered liking it, being so disappointed in the second half. I did think the first half had something going for it, but then almost you replace Frank Langella with Josh Brolin's character. I couldn't even follow what the hell Josh Brolin was doing.
He was the head of a rival investment bank that takes down Langella.
I got it. And he was driving the motorcycles with Shia LaBeouf, and that seemed incredibly forced.
No, that was great. That shows up like all the testosterone going on.
Well, and there were some really great elements, right? Like the ball that they go to, that big charity event, right, where it's almost fetishizing the jewelry.
A lot of the fancy New Yorkers, by the way, wore their own outfits for that. They didn't
saving on wardrobe budget.
Nice. Yes, I thought that was an interesting look at. You know, that was an interesting message of, you know, how these are some of the richest people in the world.
First half.
And they're in the first half. Exactly.
Can you mention Carey Mulligan real fast again?
Yeah.
That whole romantic element of it was unnecessary. Like, I love Carey Mulligan. She's radiant. She's so natural and solid, but like, I don't need the Shia and Carey Mulligan romance at all. It's like wedged in. It's a whole different movie.
Yeah, that seems like there's no way around that for me. I mean, there's no way they're going to make that movie without that. That didn't.
Why does it need it? How does it help?
Because it's a movie made here in Hollywood.
No,
I get that. I mean, that's what pulls Shia LaBeouf into Gordon Gekko is through this sort of interesting girl. I hated her job, that Gordon Gekko's daughter is a sort of do-good environmental journalist.
She has a lefty blog.
I know, she writes this horrible lefty blog. I'm tired of the lefties. Jesus, enough with them. They're blogging and they're on the internet and they're always yelling.
And they're always right.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So no, I got a little, but I didn't mind the relationship. I just then in the second half, Carey Mulligan, she's so good, by the way. I mean, talk about actors who can convey an emotion without speaking so effectively. I think she's in the upper echelon. And Michael Douglas is good. I thought they had some nice scenes together. Girls seem to get Shia LaBeouf more than boys. Do you get Shia LaBeouf?
You know, I thought he was fine.
No, I think he's fine. Do you get like Shia LaBeouf in general?
You know, I have a friend who loves him, and I keep telling her it's because she likes
her. No, it's a her. That's what I'm saying. There's no.
No, I have a friend who loves him, and I tell her it's because she likes twerpy guys. He's a twerp.
You know who's a guy who loves Shia LaBeouf? Steven Spielberg.
Oh, totally. No. I don't
Michael
know.
Bay.
I don't know anything about this business, but I'm always.
Business we call show.
No, but I mean, I don't know. I couldn't market a movie. I don't know, but I'm sort of. He's fine. I just don't know. Like he's almost like he was anointed, the next big thing, and I don't quite see it. But I know that women. I was with some grown-ups. And they loved him, and the kids love him, and you are in between, and you love him.
I get the allure of I don't love him, but I get the allure of him. He's like got this everyman kind of accessibility. He's been compared to Tom Hanks quite a bit, which I think is not unfounded.
By the way, Eli Wallach's in it.
Right, for 2 scenes.
Yeah, but he's so good with that. But real quick, by the way, so an actor named Jason Clarke. Andrew, do you have this? Jason Clarke plays the head of the New York Fed. Which was Tim Geithner's job before he became the Secretary of the Treasury. And no way that's an accident, because as you'll see, they look exactly alike. So anyway, let's get some ratings.
7.
7. You really liked it.
I liked it a lot. I hate the ending. And you warned me. You're like, you're going to hate the ending because you know my taste in everything.
Yeah, I just,
hate the
real
ending.
quick, so about the ending, without giving anything away, I didn't believe her relationship with her father, how it changed at the end based on what had been before. I don't buy it for half a second. I don't believe that I don't believe the circle that Gekko goes through, and I don't believe that her relationship with Shia LaBeouf would change in the way it did. I don't believe any of it for a second. I thought it sort of, it shredded everything, and I thought it made the end totally 100% gutless. I thought it was a gutless, wimpy ending.
It does
to
go
this movie.
soft, and it happens in a second.
Yeah, and this
Right.
movie about Gordon Gekko should not go soft and should not be gutless.
So what's your number?
My rating, a hair under average. I wanted to bring it in under average. I gave it a 4.9.
Okay.
I'm a little bit above you. I'm right at average. I'm giving it a 5.
Wow.
All right, so that pulls the overall Wall Street rating to a 5.6, so a little better than average, cranked up by Christy, who's so easy because she loves Shia LaBeouf.
I loves me some Shia.
Oh my God, it's Shia LaBeouf.
There's Christy janking the score up.